Hey, I'm Keishan with directcarpet.com. Today we're doing a stair runner explainer video for Jeannie Batista, one of our newest clients, and she would like a little how-to. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, for today's stair runner installation, you will need some tools. Let's go through the tools you're going to be using. Most of these tools you can rent at your local big box store or rental agency. You will need a carpet stapler. You will need a carpet tucker. You will need a tape measure. You will need a very good knife with sharp blades. You will need a hammer. You will need a pad stapler with pad staples. You will need, with your electric gun, you will need your electric gun staples. You will need a great pair of scissors, and you will need a kicker. So let's get on with the job. All right, first things first is you're gonna have to prepare your underpad. All right, you're gonna have to cut your underpad to size. We're using a 28-inch runner today. When you do a stair runner, you're going to cut the underpad 2 inches less than your stair runner. If your stair runner is 28 inches, you'll be cutting your underpad to 26 inches. So let's do that now. Here we go, we've marked 26. 26. Now please use a straight edge on that. I'm just doing it quick for installation purposes and video time. Now how we're going to install that on the stairs. We're going to take our pad stapler and our tape measure, and we are going to measure. First, we're going to center that to our stair. So if your stairs are boxed on the inside, measure from the inside. If they have a rail, you can measure from that. If not, you can measure from the outside of your stair, which, you know what, we will center that to the edge of our stairs. So that is 8.5 there. Seven and a half there, 8 there. Let's pull that back to 8 even. 8 even on that side. Okay, so you got that. 8 inches on this side, 8 inches on that side. All right, now we're going to staple that in place. Now, I want to do the front first. Now, I want non-stop staples along the front. That's to stop the pad from curling up. Now, if you don't have a pad stapler, you can use your electric gun stapler. I'd rather you use the pad stapler. Make sure she's got a full clip in there. Now, you're just going to put a staple every ½ inch, right at the edge, all the way along the front. All right? Now that's to save you renting the pad stapler. I'd like you to use the pad stapler, but you can use this as well. Let's show you how to cut the back now. Now with the back, I'd like you to take your tape measure. Now you can pre-cut these. I'd like you to take your tape measure, and at 1 inch, I would like you to follow that all the way along. So you have a nice straight 1 inch gap all the way along the back. And that's where you're going to staple. Now, like I said, you could measure from the riser to the edge, which is 10.5, minus the inch. Make this piece of underpad 9 inches, right? That's what I have there. What we say, 10.25, make this 9.25. We're doing a 28-inch runner, so 9.25 by 26 wide. Then you're fine. All right, let's show you one more time on this stair here. Now we know that we were 8.25. Let's do 8 and then 8. All right, now we'll use the electric gun. Measure 1 inch back, or if you can pre-cut at 9.25. This is just how I do it. All right, so now your stairs are set up for your installation. Now we're just going to install these 2 stairs, and we're going to pretend that that top riser there is your top riser. And we're going to pretend that the bottom riser is your bottom riser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to install these 2 stairs, which are exactly like installing any 5, 6, 7, 10 stairs. All right, now we've got our runner here. This is the same runner that Jeannie is putting in for Thanksgiving. This is River Rock. We make this here. We ship this out from here. You guys can get this if you want, the same color. It's fabulous. Now on Jeannie's carpet, I have marked on the bottom, start here. This pile flows down. This edge is sewn. This is where I want you to start, Jeannie. I want you to line this up. Now, if you've already lined up your underpad under here, then this is going to be an inch over on the right side. And then it'll be an inch over on the left side, okay? So we're gonna line this up. Let's do that now. Okay, now remember we were 8, 8 1/4 on the wood. So we're gonna be around 7 on each side. We wanna fold this over. Now these bottoms are sewn for a reason. They were straight edged so that hopefully your stairs are straight. And now we want to get that down nice and low. Let's get you in here, have a real good look. Okay? You guys can all see right there that we're lined up all the way along and right there. Now this is the most important part where we're starting. Okay, so here we go. We've got our carpet lined up. We're going to double check again on both sides. Then we're going to make sure that we're lined up on this bottom, this 90. This is the most important part to start. Doesn't matter if you start on the left side, doesn't matter if you start on the right side. Make sure that you set this up properly. Get your electric stable gun, make sure it's plugged in, make sure you're full of stables, and you're ready to go. Double check, check, and check again. If you want to put masking tape all the way down and all the way up your stairs to keep you on track, please do so. I use a tape measure. Now here we are, 6 3/4 at the bottom. And then we are 7 1/4 there. So we are just going to adjust. We're going to check it again. If you have tape there, you already know where you are. Here we go. We're at 7. We're going to wiggle our end of the point of our stable gun in there, and we're going to fire. That is held in place now. And what we're going to do, follow that all the way down. And I like to go in those little lines or those little creases anywhere to hide the staples. Make sure this is nice and smooth, nice and flat, all the way on your floor. And you wiggle it to get it past the pile so it doesn't pinch it down, right? If your staple goes in, it'll pinch the pile down and you will see that little mark, okay, that indentation. Now, the bottom is secured. Now, should be straight. And we're going to check our straightness all the way up. If we were 7 inches on this side from here to here, then we want to be 7 inches on that side all the way up. You always stick to one side. Now, what we're going to do is we've got to put staples under the nose. I want to staple every inch, but I want you to preform this like this with your hands. Get in there and really work that down. That is going to make those staples go into this a little bit easier than pulling out, because look at that. It wants to pull out, okay? Its natural course wants to push out. And we got to go in this 90 here, okay? Some people might have quarter round under here, and then you go into the quarter round, but we're going to go under here on an angle. And we're going to go on a 45 like this, okay? I'm going to start for the right, because that's just how I roll. Now I've preformed that. See, I've got my thumb in there. I've got my hand over it like this. I'm going to push in. This carpet's pretty soft, so it should be pretty easy. I'm going to push up. I'm going to put 2 staples in there just because I want to make sure that holds. Now, just like we did at the bottom here, we're holding at the top. We measure. We know we're straight. Let's go all the way along, every inch on the angle, all the way down. Don't be shy. Use lots of staples. If you're straight, you won't have to pull them out. I want you to feel underneath there. run your hand underneath and make sure that there are no staples popping out. Then you know you'll have put that in correct. Look at that. That's it. That's easy. That's the first part. Now let's move up to the next part. Okay, I've got you a little different view up here, high above. Now, this is important. Now, whether you put tape all along the sides, you're going to know that you're straight. Like I said, I use a tape measure. And I know that I was around 7 there. That means I need to be around 7 here, which I am. Now at the front here, now stairs are sometimes not all the same. This is 7. And this is 7. So I'm good on both sides, okay? Or, like I said, you have the strips of tape. Now this is where you're going to get your kicker. Now the reason why I use a kicker is you can do this by hand by pushing this in, but it will not stay necessarily tight. The method that I teach is we're going to push in with the kicker and we're going to staple on the sides. Okay, we're going to do that on both sides. We're going to take the pressure on the middle. I'll put this on my hip like this and just push. You see how I'm just pushing a little bit, okay? Now it might take a little time to get used to. So I might stand up. I'll show you another view like that. See how I stood up? I'm just pushing in with my knee. Look at that. Just bend and push. Bend and push. It reminds me of a movie. Okay, so we've got that. Now you can see that I've got my pressure on here. Now what I want to do over here is I just want to double check my measurement. And I'm 7 to the binding, which is good, and that's where I want to be. What we're going to do is we're going to lock it in on that side. So I got my knee, I'm pushing in. Now, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and that holds that side in nice and tight. Now look at it, I haven't taken any pressure off my knee. Okay, I've still got some pressure on there. What we're going to do is we're going to keep pressure on there. Got pressure. I know that it's straight because I checked it. 1, 2, 3. And we rub those staple marks out a little bit. Okay. Take that kicker off because now we're pretty tight, right? And that's it. Okay, that is it. You're going to do that on all the way up. Now, the most important, or one of them, it's all important. But this step, I really want you to take serious because this is going to make or break the look of the stair. Is the crease between here and here. Okay? What we want to do is we want to take our stair tool and we want to push down and we want to find that groove, the groove of the stair, the 90. We're going to push the corner, the edge of this in, back, and forth. Whatever's easier. You can do it one way, you can do it the other way, until that line is square like. I haven't even popped a staple in that line yet. Look at how nice and straight that is. Okay? That's going to be a money shot there. Once you've got that in, take your staple gun, maybe every 3 inches, push on the 45 into that groove. I'm out of staples. So that's good that you guys are going to see that. So see, I ran out, go back, and I continue. And now the final step for that stair is take your carpet tucker and your hammer, and now I want you to bang that in. All the way along. And that, look at that groove. I mean, it's perfect, smooth, nice and tight. Okay? Now, moving on up. This is how you're going to do all the stairs. Now, all we're going to do is repeat on the next stair. And then we're going to show you how to finish this riser off here. So stay tuned. Let's walk through it. So remember, we're going to check our measurements loosely. Right? We said we were about 7 inches, right? So we need to be about 7 inches again to the binding. And we are. Over here, we're 7. And over here, we're 7. Okay? So we're good. So let's form our carpet again. We're just pre-bending it, pre-forming it, just to make those staples go in a little easier. Now this carpet's pretty soft, but some carpets get really, really stiff, and so I just kind of do the same method all the time. I've found that this method just works the best. So underneath the nose on a 45, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, every inch or two. You'll get a better line if you're every inch. Now, you guys can run your hand along there, but you can see here that you cannot see that line underneath. But as you get up farther in the top stairs, as you guys can see here, let's say we're sitting here, you can start to see under that nose of those stairs over there. So what we do in a case like this is no different than when we scored this bottom. We take the edge of our tucker and we underscore the nose here. And that gives us that great straight line. Just a little time, little pressure, and now we have a beautiful line under here and a beautiful line under here. Now let's move up. Any runner that we ship out, with Jeannie's runner, she's actually got two separate runners. She's got, like I said, she has a few going up, maybe 5 going up, 5.5, and then 6.5 on her other flight. But they're two separate flights, just kind of like these are, right? She's got a landing that she is not installing carpet on, but then she's got another flight that goes up 6. So we have to learn how to end that. And the runners that I sent Jeannie both have a top and a bottom. And now when you order carpet runners from us, you're going to stipulate how many ends that you need, and I will ship you the ends that you need. So here's the top. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife, right? I kind of know that that's my end there. So I can just score it a little bit. And I'm not going to cut on that line, but you can see I always send extra. So you guys have got an extra inch there. I am just going to use a sharp blade. Try not to cut through. That would be very bad. You don't want to score the carpet on the other side. It's better to actually pre-measure it. All right. So we've got this is called a riser, and that is going to go right here, okay, with the finished edge. But that finished edge is going to go nicely underneath there. We're going to do that after. This is also one of the money shots. Now we're going to do the same method. Never changes per stair. We're going to take our kicker. Now, if you don't use a kicker and you don't put this pressure on, you can see this thing moving. If you don't put that pressure on and you try to do it with your hand, you can do it, but it's going to be loose. Okay? That's why we take a kicker and we put that pressure on. You can see that pressure. I lift that off there. Look at that pressure. Okay? Now, again, maybe you've put tape all the way along and you know your lines. I'm going to measure. I know I'm supposed to be at 7 to the binding. I'm 7 to the binding. I don't have to measure the other side because I already know if I'm 7 there, I'm 7 there. All right, same thing. Pressure. 1, 2, 3 on that side. Okay, pressure. 1, 2, 3 on this side. No need for the kicker. We're going to score this. And then we're going to, once we get that 45 in there, we're going to take our sharp blade and we're going to start on the left side. We're going to cut to the middle. We're going to start at the right side and cut into the middle. That way you do not rip the binding on the outside. We're going to blow all our carpet chunks out of there. And you can see this is a little loose. Take our stretcher, our kicker, and I'm just going to staple that all down, all the way down there. Now these 2 stairs are done. It's nice with that with the sewn edge, and now we have to address the top. Now, like we said before, on this staircase at the studio here, where I do some of the videos, is we could wrap this over and put the landing. But Jeannie is not putting a landing, so she has finished hardwood here, and we have to finish the carpet riser under here. Now, could you just cut a piece? Could you just measure from here to here and here to here and throw in a chunk? Sure you can. But we've got this nice finished edge here, and trust me, at the top of the stairs, it's gonna look golden, right? Because that's gonna finish under there like that. It's gonna be nice rather than a fraying edge. So here we want our binding to meet our binding. So what we wanna do is we wanna measure both sides, right under the nose, down to the bottom of the stair. It's 6 inches from here to here, not to the carpet, from here to here on the wood. And then we're gonna go over here and we're gonna do the same thing. From the top, right down to the bottom. It says 6 1/8. So I am gonna make that adjustment. Okay, this is a money shot. Putting in the carpet runners is easy. Finishing, you got to be on. All right, so in order to do this riser properly, we need a measurement on the left-hand side from the bottom to the top, 6 inches. And that's from wood to wood, from underneath to the bottom of the stair. This, 6 1/8. So we're gonna make that on our piece, okay? Now, I'm gonna turn that piece upside down. I hope you guys get a good view here. All right. And now because that's backwards now, one side's 6 1/8, which I'm gonna measure. Now I have a pencil to mark my back. I know that the other side was 6 1/8. And I'm gonna measure from the top to 6 1/8. And I've got my pencil marked there. And I know that this side, because remember this is upside down, this is backwards. I know that this side, right, remember, from here to here was 6 inches. All right, my tape measure's a little broken, but that's okay. There's 6, all right. All right, now I'm gonna take a straight edge, and I'm just gonna line those two up, the 2 pencil marks on each side. Okay. I just used a pencil on that. Now you can use a knife and a straight edge to do this. I'm gonna do it with my pair of scissors. If you don't have scissors, like I said, you can use a knife. But you wanna cut from the outside in. You should try to use a pair of scissors on this. Now, I'm gonna cut through there, and I'm gonna cut on the top side of this line all the way down. I don't wanna see that line, but on the outside, watch what I'm gonna do. Watch this. I'm gonna go back to the inside of the line so you can see it. And what that does is it makes it go down a little bit farther and makes this kind of go up. Let's have a look at it. Okay, clean it off. Let's have a peek. Okay, let's fit it on the one side. I'm gonna push down, okay, and then push that little tab under. Fold this under like that. I'm gonna do that all the way down. Now it's a little tight. Okay, you can see it bulging there a little bit. Now, it's a little tight. I'd rather it be a little tight than loose. I'm just gonna shave a little tiny bit of it. I mean, 1/8 of an inch, the tiniest bit. Because like I said, I would way rather have more than a gap. Then a gap, it doesn't look like, you want it to look continuous. You want it to look like you never cut this off. All right, here we go. All right, now let's try that. Fit it on the one side, push down, flip the tab, and then push that all the way along. Look at that. I don't even have to staple that. That is perfect. Look at how great that looks. I haven't even stapled it yet. So let's do that one more time. Let's pull it off and give you, before I staple it, let's pull it off and give you a view. Okay? All right, we measured on each side. On this side, it was 6 and 1/8, and I shaved a little bit off all the way down. It was 6 down here on the end. We're going to put that in there now. We'll start on this side, which is different. See that? We're going to push down, line those up, put that underneath. If your stair comes with a little tab like that, just flip the tab underneath, and then we're just going to fit that all the way down. That is a beautiful, beautiful fit. Now it's a little tight on this end. I will take my tucker and hit that down a little bit. I don't want to force it too much, because then it'll show the kinks. Okay? Now now you guys watch that in real time. Okay? I did not edit that nosing at all. So let's just see. Okay? Let's have a look at this again. There are no gaps. I haven't even stapled it. It's fitting perfectly. And now this is where the secret little tricks and stuff like that you want to get good at. Okay? And there's a side view for you. Okay, let's pop a couple staples in and finish this up. One on the bottom left, one on the bottom right. Wiggle it, and then every 5 inches. Try to go in those lines so you can't see the staples. Wiggle. And at the top, one on the top corner, one on the other top corner, and then every 5 inches. Wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it. All right, let's step back. Let's clean this mess up a little bit. Now that's it. We put the underpad on. We showed you the forming. We showed you the stapling. We showed you the scoring, how to get those lines perfect. And we showed you how to do the bottom riser, which is easy because you're just starting at the bottom, where I've marked it on the carpet runner. And then we showed you the secret method to have that nice piece on the top. Done, finito, finished. Jeannie, I wish you the best. If you have any problems, you know, you can text me and get a hold of me. But I think that you're going to be fantastic. And that's River Rock. I'm Keisha with Direct Carpet. Now, you can order any of this stuff off of directcarpet.com. Please feel free to go over and check it out. Now, before you order, you can always get a hold of me to make sure that everything is what you need. All right? I hope you enjoyed this video.